Welcome, foolish mortal, to the Spooky Chris podcast. My name is Chris Ringler. I am the aforementioned Spooky Chris, and this is my micro podcast, which you'll certainly learn to hate. It is late June, June 22nd, 24th, I don't know, whatever. I'm in COVID time still, working at home, so it's all kind of gray time. I spent the evening watching ridiculous 70s detective shows because my smallest dog was scared to death of early fireworks, which I hate so much. But hey, I'm Chris. This is my podcast. If you want to find out about me and my books and my movies and everything else, you can go to spookychris.com. Let's just jump in. So, years back, 3 years ago, I got canned from a job, and it was terrible, and it was, I'm pretty sure I've talked about it at some point. It was stupid. It was one of those things where they were so blatant about it, like my higher up boss wouldn't speak to me, wouldn't look at me, rushed into the office I had, and kind of was like, she had sent me a meeting request and came in and was like, I sent you a meeting request, and then rushed out, and it was a Friday meeting, like later in the afternoon. Everybody knows what that is. Like, it's not a shock. This was this is a few months after I'd lost my mother. We'd lost our dog. It was not a great time. My immediate boss had left, for greener pastures. I had inquired, like, oh, hey, I might be interested in taking her job, and was told by the higher-up boss, like, like, kind of laughingly, like, oh, no, maybe sometime. So it was just, like, it was the worst situation, and, like, they were just terrible people. But everybody hates to lose a job, so I got canned. And this isn't about that. That's just to kind of set the table. So I spent the next essentially 8 to 9 months looking for work. I ended up taking a part-time gig at one of the colleges I used to work at, or I went to, my first college I went to, until I ended up back where I started from, the job I left to take the job I was fired from. And it was crazy. I applied to 140 plus jobs. I had maybe 3 interviews. This is, pre-COVID, before we had lots more movement kind of in the job market with people. I remember driving all the way out. So I live in Flint, Michigan. And I drove out to Southfield, Michigan, which is the lesser Detroit area, about an hour plus away. For an interview that was a 5-minute interview. Like, literally. Like, made it clear. I always make it clear. I don't want a sales job. It's just not my bag. I go down there. No, it's marketing. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know what it was? It was marketing as in you're marketing sales to people from, like, Sam's Club. Where you're like, hey, do you want to get Dish TV? And that was pretty much literally what it was. And it was like, I went in, like, went and sat down and talked to the person. Oh, do you like this? Like, yeah, no, I don't like that. Oh, okay. Well, this isn't really that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then I left and drove all the way home and never heard from them again, which is great. So, and maybe I had 4 interviews. I don't know. Like, I got lucky, in that I picked up a stringer kind of a gig, writing for a local online paper. So I kind of survived. But it was a scary time. And then, shoot to now, I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, I'm almost 50. I have not, like, I've been doing the same job for over 10 years. I'm not going to make more than I make now, which isn't, I'm always of 2 minds here, because I existed on next to nothing for a good many years. So comparatively, this is great. I survived. This is great. I like the people I work with generally. I don't hate what I do mostly, but I have a kid now. I'm almost 50. I have a 4-year degree. I have lots of experience. I am not ready to give up and just kind of like accept that I'm going to be exactly what I am right now. So I'm ready to move on and hopefully make more money. So, I'm jumping back, kind of looking at jobs again. And it is so funny. Like, it is, and I probably have done another podcast about this. I'm probably like 80 podcasts in, so I'm sure I have. So I apologize. But oh my God, it is the most ridiculous thing ever. I swear to God, HR people, they're probably great on the legal side of it. Like, oh, well, we need to have this. We have to have signage here. You can't, talk to people like this. You're going to be reprimanded here. Like the rules side of it. But trying to find people, they're awful. Because someone involved in this process is stupid. I was doing it looking up a job. I'm like, okay, cool. There's this place. I'm gonna apply for this. So first, I love that you go to apply for a job, and you go to superjobs.net. You go to superjobs, and you go, oh cool, I want that job. Apply now. Cool, apply now. Click, opens another window to jobs XOX. Do you want to apply for this job? And it's the same job. And I'm like, yeah, I do. Click. And sometimes it'll open even another window to the main website, to an internal site, to some kind of a site that's you have to sign up for. So this whole bait and switch, sending me as if I'm looking at porn and I have to go through a bunch of hoops to pop-up ads to freaking get to a job that I want to apply to. That's stupid. We're in 2021 now. That is absolutely stupid. The reason we have these job boards is to make it easy so I don't have to go to every job, every business in that exists, to go and scour through their site and see if they have jobs open. Yeah, there's always those businesses that oh gosh, it'd be great to work for them. But me, I don't care. As long as they're not a scumbag business, I don't care. I don't have a profession per se that I'm looking at. And I'm not I have to work for these people. I have to. And there are those jobs and there are those careers, and I get it. So it makes sense, obviously, to have it on your site. But what is the point of me going to an Indeed, a Monster, a glass ceiling, glass door, I don't know, any of these sites, to look for jobs, when if I want to apply, I have to jump through a bunch of hoops, go to a bunch of sites to do it. I shouldn't have to sign up with accounts on your site as if I'm becoming a member to your secret club. I just want to apply for a job, man. I don't want a membership. Because I for sure don't want to get if I don't get that job, get oh, there's an update. We have a new job posting. No, I don't care. Don't care. I shouldn't have to, if I have a resume and I'm uploading a resume and cover letter and all that, I shouldn't have to fill out boxes of what is your education? What are your previous jobs? Give me your references. Which, I'm sorry, references are stupid. Because tell me someone you're going to use as a reference that's going to talk crap on you. I had a guy who was the nuttiest dude. He's just the nuttiest guy. I'm not even tell stories because he's just a nutty dude. Who used me as a reference out of the blue. And I got a call, and I was honest, oh, he's kooky, but he'll be good and stuff. I mean, he wasn't good. He was super kooky. I asked him, I ended up briefly as a manager where we worked, a co-manager. And he was on shift, and it was this vitamin store, and we had energy drinks and stuff, and he just wouldn't fill the cooler. I was like, hey man, can you fill that and face it? And he popped a cog and threw a fit and quit on the site, on the spot, and it was not, I wasn't mean about it or anything. It was oh hey man, can you blah blah blah. And that's the kind of guy he is. He goes through lots of jobs. He's not really happy with wherever he ends up. But I lied, man. And I think that's what most people do. It's not like you're going to reference. Other than like, oh, well, they know lots of people. Dude, I know lots and lots of people. I ain't going to ask them for a reference because I feel like it's a weird favor to ask, and I don't ask favors if I can avoid it. That's just weird. So you want to be impressed by people I know? Girl, I know lots of people. Who cares? Like, but who's gonna talk trash on you? Like, oh man, I wouldn't hire them. They are awful. Blech. Just like when they ask, oh hey, can we contact your current employer? No, stupid. The whole point is not to show them that I'm leaving. It's to get a freaking job so I can leave. Why would I have you call my current job? Oh hey, does Joe Schmo work there? Well, yeah. Well, he applied for a job here, and we were just wondering how he is. Oh, Joe Schmo, you say? He don't work here no more. Like, well, it's the funniest stuff because it's so stupid. So anyway, jumping through all that Megillah to get to like outer sites, and it went to a site that was like a weird, like, oh hey, we're blah 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 site. Just fill this quick thing out. It should be less than 20 minutes. Bro, it shouldn't take me 20 minutes to fill out an application, like to apply for a job. I get, if I'm an executive, if I'm going to get paid a ton of cash, okay, add a couple more hoops. Though, frankly, well, I'll get to that. Like, the hoops are to come. But it was a freaking personality quiz. Like, super in-depth, like, you read these headlines. Which headlines connect with you more? And it was and you can obviously see it's to figure out your personality because they want to know, oh, well, are they going to fit in with me? The answer is no. The answer is no, because I was not applying for a high-up job, and you don't get to just decide what my personality is. I'm crazy. That's my personality. Yeah, no. And I went, like, to the second part of it, and I was like, dude, and literally it was like, here are all these things. What are like essentially the most good or most bad? And like we had prostitution and stuff on there. What if I don't have an issue with prostitution? What if I'm like, legalize it? I don't care. Go do your thing. And I put that on there too high. What if I put it too low? What if it's patriotism and I put it low? It's stupid. It was so stupid because bro, you're trying to see if I can file paperwork and answer phones. You'll find out pretty quick if I'm a weirdo. Like, that's what an interview's for. You look at my stuff, like, okay, cool. Like, here's the deal. Because I interview people. I went through this process with people. Like, I went by our template kind of thing of how it was supposed to go. But I also had to interact with these people. Like, I talked to 30, 40, some people, like, for these jobs. Or more, probably more. So I've done this. But, like, the whole thing is, like, you get the thing, like, okay, cool. These tick off the boxes of what we need in this job. So it looks like they can do this job. Let's have them come in. And you have them come in and you talk to them. And I hate the questions, because the questions are usually stupid, too. Name a time when you were disappointed in yourself. And why were you disappointed? What was your greatest success? Like, whatever. Whatever, man. I feel like there's better ways to find out if someone's going to deal well with this stuff. I remember I interviewed for this one job and like I hate that too, like the fake run through, like, oh, we're going to have you do the job and see how you do at it. It was a call center kind of thing. And I threw it out there and I knew in the interview, it was a group interview where it was me being interviewed by a group, which is awful. And I could tell one dude just did not, he looked at me like, no. So I knew, like, after I'd left, I was like, because I was overqualified for that job. I just needed a job. Yeah, like, you know what your job is, you know what your culture is, you know this and that. Hey, this is who we are, this is what we do, blah, blah, blah. Like, what's your experience with answering phones? What's your experience with filing papers? What's your experience with cleaning toilets? Like, what do you do when this... I mean, I absolutely throw out some questions like, what would you do if kind of stuff? Because somebody might say, like, oh, what would I do if someone has an issue? I'd tell them to go F themselves and die. Oh, well, I don't know if you'll fit here. Whatever. So I don't think you need to have these stupid psychological testy things. Just do the work. It's just like when you ever try to get published. It's like, well, do you read our books? Do you read our magazine regularly? Are you a customer? Because we only want to have people that know our... No. You know what you're looking for. I don't. I'm going to read what you're looking for. It says a horror story? Cool, here's a horror story. You take the time to look over it and stuff and tell me if it's good or not. If it's not, cool, I'm going to move on. But don't tell me I have to read your magazine and find out what your public, what your history is and your audience and all. No. You do your job. That's for you to do. Like, if you don't want to do it, then that's on you. That's your guys' business model. Cool. So I hate the whole, and it seems like jobs are such a process of hoops. Like, there's always nepotism and favoritism and all this stuff. Like, the job I got because a friend of mine left that job and like, mentioned it to me and recommended me. They liked me. I got hired, and I ended up where I'm at. And it's not, obviously, if I couldn't do the job, I wouldn't have the job. So it's, there's a point where you got to kind of figure it out yourself. But holy cats, they make it hard. They make it hard, and it's so depressing and hard to slog forward. Because, once in a while I get like I'm sorry, we've decided to go with someone with more experience. Whatever, like give someone a chance. Like, what experience? What they want is, hey, I want someone who has 10 to 20 years at this, who wants starting pay, who's like so desperate they want starting pay, and are going to stay here for forever. That's what we want, and whatever. Like, if you ask, like, I love to, they'll ask, like, what salary do you expect? No, you tell me what the salary is. I would love it, $100,000 a year. No, you tell me what it really is. Because I don't want to, if I say a number that's too high, I don't want them to think like, oh, well, we can't afford them, screw them. I want them to say like, oh, well, this is actually what we're offering. And then I can make a decision like, oh, this job's great, blah, blah, blah. I would love it. Or I also don't want to undersell myself where it's like, I would like to take $1 and they're willing to pay you $12. Like, oh, we're getting off cheap. No, man, you tell me what you're going to pay. I hate that. All of these games, and it's so many games, and so many of these jobs will not tell you what they pay at all. I remember seeing a job the other day. It was great. It was part-time, like in hours that fluctuated and stuff, and it's like, so you're going to pay me part-time, no bennies, probably not awesome money, and you're going to expect me basically to work the prime hours, so I'm going to need another job, odds are, because most of us aren't working for a hobby, because we're not independently rich. So how am I supposed to get another job to work around, because I got to work around you. So if I'm like, okay, cool, they need me 8 to 4, I can work 6 to 9 every night, like, not if they are like, oh, hey, can you work 9 to 7? Because then I can't get that other job because now my hours are screwy because these people are stupid. It's just like being in college and they're like, oh, hey, read 12 books tonight and write a 100-page paper. Well, but I have other homework. I don't care. This is your drama. I want what I want. Oh, shoot, all school is like that now, I should say. I mean, college, at least it makes a little more sense, but high school and grade schools like that now. Like, write a 4-page paper and read a book. But I have other homework. I don't care. Figure it out. Figure it out, kid. And it seems so nebulous what they want so many times, and that they don't know what they want. Like reading these listings, and they're like, oh, hey, I want a marketing person that is going to go door to door and tell people about our business and file and do web work, and it's like, no, man, that's several jobs. That's several jobs right there. No, that's just this job. Exactly. That's the problem. You need several jobs. You're willing to hire for one at the pay of half of all of them. Like, it's so crazy. It's all of these bargain people wanting to use coupons on folks they're hiring. And those group interviews either way are terrible. Like, being interviewed by a bunch of people is awful. Because you feel on the spot. I don't know many people that are going to excel in that kind of an environment. Like, oh, I'd love to be interviewed by a lot of people and blah, blah, blah. But then the alternative is if you're in a group interview where it's you and a bunch of people, which I've been a part of. Because that's stupid. Where it's like, oh, hey, we have a job. All of you, here's a stick. Figure it out. Like, no, don't have okay, Joe, Say you're a balloon. What color balloon are you? Oh, I'm red. Okay, Anne. You're a balloon. What color balloon are you? I'm blue. Like, it's just, why? That's, again, you being lazy. Like, we don't really want to take the time to invest in all of these people. Like, we're just going to try to do it once and get it done real quick. No, man, you figure it out. Figure it out. If you can't do it, don't do it. Like, I don't know. I'm going to tell you, hire an HR firm that will do hiring for you or something. I don't know what to say. And it's so aggravating, the process to find a job, and it shouldn't be. But it is, and it's funny because, now the big thing is like, well, no one wants to work. Well, yeah, of course. No one wants to work part-time for no bennies. No one wants to work for less money than they should be, like, working for. No one wants to go work, and risk their lives and safety and mental health for ownership that doesn't care about them, for a public that abuses them. I think, like, COVID kind of, a lot of us, and yeah, there's always be grifters that are like, I just want to get free money. I get it, whatever. There's always those people in everything. Look at corporate America and the people who don't pay taxes, and then stop complaining about, like, people don't want to work. People don't want to pay taxes who make billions, so shut up. But yeah, like, I think our, workers and kids and stuff would like more. They would like more, just like you always hear people say, oh, well, working at McDonald's is a starter job, so you shouldn't expect more money. That's funny because I see a lot of retirees there, as well as other people, because there's not a lot of work out there. One, so your kids, you're essentially, younger people are not worth paying. Like, the work they do is not worth it. You're the kind of people who don't pay interns, who are just want free work and free effort because they're learning. Well, then, when they spit in your food or they don't get the order right, you can't complain because they were doing the work of what they were paid, not a professional. But also, like, so retirees, that's like, well, I can't really make ends meet, but or I just want something. So they should make the same amount of money that a teenager does with their quote-unquote starter job? That's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. But that's where we're at, is we look up to millionaires and rich people who, when they get away with not paying taxes, we're like, well, they're just using the system to their benefit. But then you look at the people that are working class, and they don't want to work for nothing anymore. They don't want to be taken advantage of. They want better in life. It's like, they're selfish and lazy, and why don't they just go work and bootstrap it like all these other rich people? Because rich people just barely ever bootstrap it. There are some, but not all of them are bootstrapping. Let's just be honest. And for me, dude, I've got a 4-year degree. I've got all of this experience, all these things I can do, and I never get those opportunities. And it stinks. And, like, I don't want to, it could be a full-time job looking at jobs, but then most of them don't change. It's just multiple listings for the same job. And then you'll see some places where it's like, you've been hiring for that position a lot. Either someone's moving on a lot to happier, like, oh, they've outgrown the space, or they're moving up in the organization, or y'all are just awful, or hire terribly. I don't know, but it's a wonder anybody ever gets jobs they like. It really is. I'll never understand it. I'll never understand the mentality of how hiring is done, how job things are listed. You would think it would be a lot more humanist, because even if you can't like, hey, we can't pay people a whole ton of money, but, we're a great organization, we're just looking to help you. Sell that. Like, people don't need to make all the money in the world if they know they're going to a place where they're going to, like, enjoy it, where it's going to be a good place. I have a friend who got a gig at one of those places that you're like, holy crap, that sounds amazing, where they had a chef on hand that would cook for you, and like all these they had games and stuff there, and all this great stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah, except what they expect is that you're going to work all the time. Like, the chef is there and all this food is made that you can take home because you're working late into the night. So you don't actually get to go and have meals. You don't get to go home and have dinner. All of these games and stuff are there so you can go and take a break and play some pinball and then go back to work because you're going to be there all night. So it's just weird. It's so, I mean, I guess if we're real honest, the dating scene and the job scene are essentially a mirror image of one another. You get a lot of crappy people who are looking they're always looking because they're just crappy employees and they're never going to be happy and they don't know what they want. And you have crappy, like, bosses who don't know how to be a boss like I had, don't know how to communicate, don't want to. It's like, there's a point when you have someone on your staff where you have both invested into one another, where it makes more sense to keep them and to try to, like, teach them how to be a better employee than to just be like, no, you're out. Because you've already invested time, money, training, like all of these things, and it seems like more of a reflection on you if you are not willing to put the work in to help them, like to shepherd them. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like if your first move is fire, like you're the one that's wrong here. Man, I am lucky in that right now I have a job. So looking for a job right now is a luxury. I can look for a job. But I remember I was almost out of unemployment, and it was scary. And I just don't know how people do that. Like, and it stinks because we're such a horrible society with our work ethic and everything. Like, this whole, like, you don't have a good work ethic. You got to work all day and you can't want anything. It's like this mentality of your job is your life kind of a thing. And it's not like the means to an end. It's like, oh, I'm working so I can afford to live, so I can enjoy my life. It's so screwed up. And it's much like the education system. I don't know what changes it. It has to change with each place. But people don't want to do that. They're the higher ups and stuff are just kind of like, whatever, HR, do what you got to do, just get me new bodies. But man, the system sucks. And I feel for anyone and everyone looking for work, because it's scary, it's awful, it's demoralizing, it makes you feel awful and useless and it's like a loser, because you're like, oh, I can do all these things and this and that, and it's like, yeah, but you're not what we're looking for. And it's like, but I'm overqualified for you. Yeah, no. Sometimes I just think of this world and I just shake my head because, man, I don't know how we make it through each day sometimes. Friend, I appreciate you listening. You take care. Be well. Hopefully you have a job and aren't looking, because it is no fun. Until next time, listener, good day.